is our strength and active stretch. You will need a set of medium and heavy weights. I'm just going to grab two. Total body today, starting from upper, going all the way down, ending with our calves today. So let's go ahead and start with our warm-up and get our timer going here. Draw your feet hip width apart and parallel. Draw your knees up towards your chest. Strong point in your toes as you lift your knees high. Warming up that lower body, warming up your core. Alright, go ahead and take that knee up and over to a side lunge, pressing your hips back. So no cardio for today, just strength. We have 60 seconds of strength, 10 seconds of a very short pulse or hold move. We do that 4 times through, then we're going to come into a 60-second stretch for that muscle group that we just worked. Go ahead and hold it in a low, wide squat. Feet are wider than your hips, toes are slightly turned out, arms are out to a T. Tiny circles, keep your shoulders relaxed down from your ears. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Go ahead and reverse that circle. From here, bend and extend the knees. Chest stays lifted. Deep bend and lift. Shoulders remain stacked directly over your hips. Hold the bend in the knees. From here, hinge forward at your waist. Give yourself a nice big hug and then squeeze your shoulders together as you lift your arms up high towards the ceiling. Squeezing those shoulder blades. A few more rounds of breath here. Alright, on the next one, release your right knee down towards the floor. Runner's lunge, untuck your right toes. Pressing forward into your left knee, chin and chest stays lifted. Shoulders stacked over your hips. Opening up that right hip. Go ahead and draw the hips back as you straighten that left leg, flex left toes, and then press it forward. If you're just joining us, no worries. We're just getting started with the warm-up. This is our strength and active stretch. We need a set of medium and heavy weights today, total body. One more time, then we're going to hold the hips back. Hold that left leg straight. Point, flex, maybe circle out that left ankle. Hold the left toes flexed, hinge forward, framing your right toe. Maybe bringing your nose towards your knee. Maybe drawing your heart towards your thigh. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Gently rise up, slow and controlled. Gently release your left knee down. Take a big step forward with your right foot, pressing into your right knee, keeping your chin and chest lifted, shoulders stacked over your hips, allowing that left hip to really open here. Hold it for 1 more breath. On your exhale, straighten that right leg, flex your foot. And then press it forward, moving here with intention. Deep bend into that right knee and then straighten that right knee as you draw your hips back. 2 more. All right, on the next one, we're gonna hold those hips back. Hold that right leg straight. Point, flex, maybe circle out that right ankle. Hold the right toes flexed, hinge forward, framing your right foot, maybe bringing the crown of your head towards your toes, lengthening through your spine, folding forward over your right leg. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Gently rise up, roll your shoulders back, roll them forward, sweep your arms up high overhead, bind your arms, bring your palms out in front, side bend, side to side, left side, rise up, over to the right. 1 more time each side. All right, we're going to start with upper body. Rise up, release your arms down. So we have 4 rounds. Grab a set of weights. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Right arm, full bicep curl. holds it at half, left arm, full bicep curl, extend, holds it at half, release the right arm. So we're alternating 1.5 curls. You've got this. So as you hold one arm at 90, the other arm is working. Release, bend the shoulder, half curl, release, bend the shoulder, half curl. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we have 60 seconds for each move, 4 times through. In between, we have a 10-second active rest. So with that active rest, we have alternating pulses. You've got 7 more seconds here. Finish up round 1, so strong. That's 3, 2, and 1. Hold both arms at 90. Tiny pulse and pulse. Squeeze your biceps. That's 2 and 1. Hold the right arm, extend the left. Give me a full curl. Bring it halfway. Hold the left arm, extend the right. Full curl. Hold it halfway. Back to the left arm. So you're alternating. One arm holds at 90-degree half curl as the other one does 1.5 bicep curls. Palms are facing up towards the ceiling. Slow it down as much as you'd like. You've got this. Halfway there. Round 2, so strong. Keep it going. Extend, curl, release. We're going to pulse it in 12. Keep the shoulders relaxed down from your ears. That's 7. That's 3, 2, and hold both and just pulse. Pulse. Imagine you're trying to squeeze your biceps. Flex your biceps here. You've got it. We're starting back to the right. Extend, full curl, palm towards the shoulder, release halfway, hold it there. Extend, full curl, bring it halfway, extend, full curl, bring it halfway. This is your 3rd round. You've got this. Keep it going. Try not to hit any part of your body here. Full curl to a half, and then we hold. You are more than halfway there. So you got 4 rounds of this with that active pulse in between for 10 seconds. After the 4th round, then we stretch out that muscle. That's 10. Firing up those biceps and your forearms. Last 3, 2, and 1. Just pulse and pulse. We have 1 more round of this. Squeeze your biceps, squeeze your triceps as you pulse and lift. We're starting with the left arm. Hold it at 90. Extend the left. Full curl. Bring it halfway. Hold it there. Extend the right. Full curl. And release. That's it. You've got it. Very nice. Looking strong, Kathy. Great form, Amy. You've got it. We're almost halfway there. Core is engaged here. Draw your navel deep into your spine and up. Even though the focus is primarily on your biceps, on your upper body, do not neglect your core or your glutes. 17 more seconds to go. 1.5 curls to a hold. 1 set of pulse. Then we set the weights down and we stretch. You've got 3, 2, half curl, hold it, pulse, and pulse. You've got 7. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your weights down by your side. Go ahead and bind your hands behind your back. Bring your feet slightly wider than your hips. Chin and chest lifted. Gaze up, look up. This is option 1. You want a deeper stretch. Lift your arms as you fold forward. You can also place your hands, fingertips down to your lower back. Hold it in any variation. You can also fold forward, lifting your arms overhead, stretching those biceps. Let your neck hang nice and loose. We're going to grab one heavy weight next. You still got 20 seconds here in the stretch. We have gorilla rows coming up next. Bicep stretch for 7. That's 3, 2. All right, 10-second breather. Roll your shoulders up and back. Grab a sip of water whenever you need it. Grab one heavier weight or use one of the weights you previously used. Feet slightly wider than your hips. Soft bend the knees. Hinge forward. Draw that right arm up. Release it down. Switch to the left. Left arm up. Release it down. Switch. So for your pulse here, we have 60 seconds with alternating gorilla rows. Gently passing that weight from right to left, left to right. For your 10-second pulse, we're going to alternate, holding that right arm high, and we're going to pulse it for 10 seconds. So right arm for the first and third round, left arm for the second and fourth round. That's it. You got 25 seconds here. You can also do this from a kneeling stance if you like. Gently hinge forward, almost like you were in a good morning pose. And then just rolling up. Toes can be tucked or top shoelace portion of your foot flat on the floor. Keep it going. Roll it up and release. Back is flat here. You got 3, 2. Draw that right elbow up and just pulse. Tiny little pulses here. Really drawing that right arm up towards the ceiling. You got 3, 2, and 1. Release the right hand down over to left. Left arm rows. Release it down, pass it back to the right, and row. This is round 2. So for this 10-second pulse, we're going to hold that left elbow high. Almost as if you're trying to elbow somebody off of your back, keeping that elbow close in towards your body. 20 seconds down, less than 40 to go. Ground through your feet, big toe to pinky toe, straight back to your heels. Back is flat. Keep your gaze forward, keeping your neck at neutral spine. You've got this. Continue with your breaths here. Gentle row, standing or kneeling. Release it back down. Gentle handoff over to the opposite hand. Last 10. Remember, we're going to pulse that left arm up. You want to do 2 to the right, 2 to the left, back to back. That's also perfectly fine. Hold that left elbow up and pulse, and pulse. Tiny pulses here with that left elbow nice and high, close in towards your body. All right, release the left arm down, pass to the right. Row it up and release. Lift and row. This is round 3. We're back to that right arm pulsing here. Keep it going. Row it up, and gentle release. Great form, standing or kneeling, your choice. Do what feels good for you today. Maybe trying different options and the various rounds. You got 4 rounds of this, 4 full minutes of movement with 10 seconds of pulsing in between, 20 seconds to go. Gentle row and release. That's 10. If you're with me, we're going back to that right arm pulsing. Just make sure you do 2 and 2. That's it. Just pulse that right arm. Just pulse and pulse. You've got 1 more round of this. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Release that arm. Switch to the opposite hand. Keep it going. Keep that navel pulled in towards your spine to protect your back. Back remains flat here. You can widen your stance or make your stance more narrow, your choice. Your stretch for this move are going to be cat and cows. We can be standing, we can be kneeling, or on a tabletop. Keep it going. Nice back stretch here coming up. You got less than 20 seconds. We're going to pulse it with that left arm next. Last 10. Pulsing coming up. And 5. That's 3, 2. Pulse the left arm, just pulse and pulse. We have standing, kneeling, or tabletop, cat and cow in 3, 2, and 1. Gently set the weight down. So if you're standing, you can bring your hands to your thighs, round your spine, gaze towards your navel, arch your back, look up. You can also do this from kneeling, just having a seat on your heels, bringing your hands towards your knees, round your spine. Draw your hands to your hips, gaze up. If you want to work from a tabletop, wrist under your shoulders, knees under your hips, tuck your toes, hammer your body, lift your gaze. Deep inhale. Exhale as you round your spine, bringing your gaze towards your navel. Press the earth away. Moving here with your breath. Slow it down as much as you'd like. We've got 12 more seconds. We've got core coming up next. All right, grab one weight, medium or heavy. You can be kneeling or you can be standing. Draw your feet hip width apart. We're going to wrap that weight around 2 times, drawing it clockwise. Back to starting position and the opposite side. So if this feels too easy, you can walk your feet in. You can also widen your stance to disperse your weight more. So 2 full circles in one direction. 2 full circles in the opposite direction. You can also do this from kneeling. If you're kneeling and you want to add more of a challenge, of course, walk your knees closer. You can also lift the top shoelace portion of your feet off of the floor. Engage those abs. Whether you're standing or kneeling, your shoulders should be stacked directly over your hips. All right, from here, we're going to draw that right knee up, pulse it. This is your pulse. All right, come back into it. Draw that weight around. So if you're kneeling, instead of a knee drive, think about really engaging your abs. Draw your navel in towards your spine and up towards the crown of your head, just as if you're wearing a corset. That's it, slow and controlled. As you draw that weight around your waist, twice in one direction, and then switching directions. I want you to stabilize your core. Keep everything still, nothing moving except from your shoulder down to your fingertips. Round 2 right here, standing or kneeling. If you're standing for that pulse, we're going to switch the left knee drive. If you're kneeling, just focus on drawing that navel into your spine. Focus on breathing with your abs contracted. That's 2 and 1. Left knee drive, or focus on the core engagement. Last one, release that left knee down if you had it lifted. Wrapping that weight back again around. So notice how I'm not wobbling side to side, not forwards and backwards. Again, you can adjust your stance, feet together for more of a core challenge. You can widen your stance to disperse that weight more if you find you're getting a little bit wobbly here. Maybe one direction is a little bit easier for you than the other. Totally normal. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed down from your ears. Very nice. Round 3 right here, less than 20 seconds to go. Keep it going. Last 10. You've got 5. Right knee drive if you're standing, core engagement if you're kneeling. All right, right knee drive or core engagement. You can hold that right knee, you can pulse it, you can tap it down, lift it back up. Place the right knee down if you're standing, coming back to around the waist with the dumbbell. That's it, gently passing that weight around. Trying not to hit your body with that weight. Trying not to move as if you are a statue with the weight. Again, if you're kneeling, the top shoelace portion of your toes can be lifted to add more heat to the core. You can also lower your feet down. Shoulders remain stacked directly over your hips the entire time. Keep your gaze forward. This is the last time we're doing this. If you're standing, left knee drive. If you're kneeling, focus on that core engagement. All right, from here, your focus, left knee drive or core engagement. Maybe lift your toes. Gently release that weight down. Standing or kneeling, bind your arms this time overhead, just as we did in the stretch. Bring your palms facing out. Hold that stretch here. Lengthen up through your core. Hold it here for one more breath. And just a gentle side to side. Moving here with intention, slow and controlled. Over to the right side bend. Rise back up through center. Over to the left side. This can be standing. This can be kneeling, your choice. We're grabbing 2 weights next, firing up the lower body, quads and hamstrings. We have a suitcase squat with our chest lifted. Last 10. You got it for 5, 2, and 1. All right, grab those weights of choice. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Come up to standing if you were previously kneeling. Roll your shoulders up and back, one weight on each side. Upright, suitcase squat, and lift. Slow and controlled. That weight is in your heels. Chest is lifted. Firing up those quads and hamstrings. Gently squatting down, keeping your chest lifted. That's it. Keep it going. Now for our 10-second active rest, if you will, we're going to hold it in that low suitcase squat position, and we're going to pulse it or just hold it. You got less than 10 seconds. Keep the shoulders rolled back. Last 3, 2. Find your lowest squat. Hold it here. Maybe pulse it out. We're going right back into the suitcase squat, full squats. All right, gently rise up. Gently bend deep into the knees. And rise up. That's it. Weight is in those heels. Feet are directly under your hips. Just as if you're picking up 2 suitcases, one on each side, keeping yourself nice and symmetrical. Even weights here. This is round 2. As you bend down to pick up those weights, those imaginary suitcases, your chest stays lifted. Keep your gaze forward. We're going to pulse it in 10. Pulse or hold. Your choice. Last 3, 2. All right, hold it low. Hold it here. If you'd like, add the pulse. Very nice. Last 2. And 1, round 3 right here. Back to movement, slow and controlled. Steady movements here. Chest stays lifted. Bending deeper each time. Use your abs as you bend into those knees. Keep it going. Squeeze your glutes to rise. Halfway there. We've got one more round after this. Suitcase squat, gentle rise up. Last 15. You got it. And 3, 2. Hold it low when you get there. Hold it or pulse. We've got one more round after this. Definitely scratched my knuckle on that around the world arms. All right, gently rise up and bring it down. Rise up. Slow it down as much as you need to. We're not going for speed on any of these. Just you against the clock. That's it. Deep bend in those knees. As you rise up, stacking the shoulders once again over your hips. More than halfway there. Your stretch here is a runner's lunge. So we have 30 seconds with the right knee down, 30 seconds with the left knee down. Just as we did in our warm-up. Keep it going. That's 5. When you get there, hold it low and pulse it. You got 10. We're setting those weights on, going right into that runner's lunge. Let's start with the left knee forward, right knee down on the floor, untuck your right toes. All right, coming right into it. From here, pressing forward and drawing it back. As you draw the hips back, straighten that left leg, flex your foot, release your left quad. Press it forward, releasing your hamstring. Few more here, and then we're going to switch sides quickly. All right, release the left knee down. Take a big step forward with your right foot, pressing into your right knee. Chin and chest lifts. Straighten your right leg, flex your right foot, release your quad as you draw your hips back. That's it. Press it forward and back. All right, we have deadlifts next. So you want to go heavy here, one weight in each hand. You've got 7 seconds. 10-second breather, and 2, and 1. Gently rise up. Grab those weights of choice, one weight in each hand. Roll the shoulders up and back. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Weights facing your thighs. Gently roll down and back up. Do not focus on the depth. Press your hips back towards the wall behind you. And rise up. Use your abs, use your glutes, squeeze everything. Keep your gaze forward as you hinge your body, pressing your glutes back. Your gaze should follow. Avoid straining your neck, looking side to side. That's it. For your 10-second pulse, it's going to be quick. We're going to hold in that deadlift. And we're going to alternate lifting the opposite leg. So we'll start with the right. So first and third round, we'll lift the right leg or just stagger that right leg back for a single leg deadlift. For the second and fourth time, we're going to lift or stagger that left leg back. Here we go. Draw that right leg back and pulse it. You can also stagger that leg back and pulse it. Stepping that right foot down to meet the left, and 2. And 1. Here we go again. Round 2. Deadlifts. Don't focus on how far you're reaching your hands with those weights. Focus on pressing your hips back, not allowing your knees to bend further towards your toes. Squeeze your glutes to the top. Your back is flat. Roll your shoulders up and back. Chest is open. Gently lower and rise. This is round 2. So we're going to stagger that left leg back or kick it back behind us if we want to challenge our balance more for our 10-second pulse. In 12. You got it. Very nice, great form. Way to not rush this. You never, ever, ever want to rush these moves. All right, stagger that left leg back or kick it back and pulse. You've got 5, 3, 2, and 1. So the left foot down to meet the right. Rise up, shoulders back. Come back into it. Press your hips back and rise up. You're thinking about pressing your hips back towards that wall behind you. It doesn't matter if your hands or weights reach your knees, any part of your shin, your ankles, or your toes. What matters is that you're using your glutes and your abs here. Press it back, glide your hands down the front of your shins. Use your abs and your glutes to rise. Squeeze everything. That's it. You've got 10 seconds. We're staggering or lifting that right leg back in 5, 3, 2, stagger it back, pulse it. Maybe lift that right heel, bend into that right knee even deeper for 3, 2, and 1. Place that right foot to meet the left. Roll up, shoulders back, reset. Coming back into it. Last round here. You're already 10 seconds in. Keep your core pulled in towards your spine. That'll protect your back. That's it. Keep it going. Gaze follows where you hinge. Really press your hips back, hinging at your waist, not your knees. Last 20. We're going to draw that left leg back like a kickstand, or lifting that leg to a hover in 10. Figure 4 is our stretch here. We've got 2 sides, so we're going to move through them in 30 seconds each. All right, left leg back, pulse it. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Standing or on the floor. I prefer this personally on the floor, but you can always be standing. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, flex your right foot. If you're on the floor, you can walk your left foot in. You can press your hips up. If you're standing, you can gently fold forward, maybe gently pressing that right knee away. If you're also on your bum, you can lower it down, maybe rock side to side. Coming back through center, release your right foot back on the floor, lift your left leg, cross your left ankle over your right thigh, flex your left foot. If you're standing, maybe lower your hips down, gently pressing your left knee away. If you're on the floor, you can lift your hips forward, opening up your outer left glute. Hold it wherever you are. If you're standing, if you're on the floor, you can also lower your hips, maybe rocking side to side. Don't worry, I'll reset the timer. All right, come back to center. Release the bind of your left ankle over your right thigh. Shake it out. We have one more move. Grab 2 heavy weights. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2. Place those weights on your shoulders. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Calf raise and lower. Lift and lower. We're firing up that lower body today. We started with those biceps. 1.5 curls with the hold. Next we had those gorilla rows. Nice tricep and back. We had around the waist, focusing on your deep core muscles and your obliques. Then we had hamstrings and quads with our suitcase, squat pickup, deadlifts for our glutes and core, and rounding off our calves with our heel lift and lower. We're gonna pulse it in 10. You got this. Last 5. Everything should be on fire. All right, pulse it. Keep those heels lifted. Tiny pulse. Very nice. All right, lower those heels and lift. Lower and lift. Notice how lovely it feels when you lower those heels down towards the floor. You can always adjust your weights. You can grab lower weights, heavier weights. Just a gentle lift and lower. This is round 2. You're more than halfway there. I know it burns. You've got this. Lift and lower. 15 seconds to go. Gentle lift and lower. We're going to hold it and pulse it in 3, 2. All right, hold it and pulse. Pulse and pulse. Try not to let those heels lower down for 3, 2, and 1. Lower those heels down. Lift and lower. This is round 3. I know it burns. I promise we're going to stretch at the very end. Lift and lower. If you get a cramp, just do a quick heel down and then come back into it. Keep it going. Lift and lower. You can widen your stance. Maybe also working the outer hips here with your toes turned out. Feet slightly wider than your hips. You can also walk those feet in. Lift and lower. Your choice. We're going to pulse it in 5. Last 2. All right, hold the heels lifted. Just pulse and pulse. I know it burns. We've got one more round in 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Shake it out if you need to. Pulse lift and lower. Pulse lift and lower. Trust me, we've got a glorious stretch coming up. Lift and lower. You are more than 20 seconds down. This is our 4th round, right? Yes. Want to double check there. All right, we've got the stretch coming up in less than 30 after we pulse. That's it. Maybe try adjusting the feet. You can draw the feet together, lift and lower. You can widen the stance, lift and lower, toes turned out, toes parallel, your choice. We're going to pulse it here in 5. Last pulse and last lift. And 2 and 1. Just pulse. Hold it high. Then lift and lift. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heels. Woo, shake it out. Lower those weights down. Gently draw your right heel forward, staggering your leg. Deep bend into your right leg. Left leg is straight. We're hinging forward. Maybe gently pulling the toes in towards your chest. You can lessen that stance to deepen it. Holding here and just pulling that heel in. We're going to switch sides here in 2 and 1. Gently release your right leg, circle it out. Lower your right foot, stagger your left foot in front, heel down, toes lifted, hinge forward. Maybe gently pulling your toes back, feeling that stretch along your calf. You can lessen the distance. Maintain that deep bend in your right knee. Left leg is straight. That's it. All right, gently roll up and back. Come on down to the floor, finding a tabletop stance. Let's just do some cat and cows here. With your wrists directly under your shoulders, knees under your hips, tuck your toes if you'd like. Hand with your belly, lift your gaze, deep inhale. Exhale as you scoop and arch, round your spine up, pressing the earth away. Come back through, tuck your toes, lift your gaze, deep inhale. On your exhale, press the earth away. Feel the stretch in your shoulders. 2 more times so you can tuck your toes or keep the top shoulders portion down. As you hand with your belly, lift your gaze. Shine your heart forward. Come through neutral spine, round up. Once more here with your breath. Deep inhale. And exhale. Come back to a neutral spine. Back is flat. You patter at your toes. You can bump your hips side to side. Lift your left arm high. Gaze up, look up. Draw that left arm under and through the right side body, gently releasing your left cheek or ear towards the floor. Stretch your right arm long. Feel that stretch in opposite directions. You can also bind your right hand around towards your left hip, opening up your shoulder, maybe gaze up towards the ceiling. Feel that twist. Whether your right hand is binded or extended, release it back down to your shoulder. Press up, deep inhale. Left arm lifts high. And release. Go ahead and draw that right arm high. Deep inhale, gaze up. Thread your right hand under and through the left side body. Gently releasing your right cheek or ear to the floor. Maybe reaching your right arm further. Many options here. You can extend your left arm out long. You can also keep your left hand directly boxed out under your left shoulder. If you want to open up your shoulder and your chest, maybe bind your left hand around towards your right hip. Maybe drawing your gaze up towards the ceiling. Feel that deep twist. Wherever you are, left hand extended or binded, gently release it back down to your left shoulder. Inhale, reach the right arm high. Exhale, release. Extend your right leg straight back. From here, point and flex your right foot. Nice calf stretch here. Draw your navel deep into your spine, engaging your abs. Press the earth away from you, round your spine. Hold the right toes pointed. Draw your right knee in towards your right wrist, and then tuck your left foot back, coming into half pigeon. A nice stretch here for your hips and your glutes. You're welcome to stay here. You can walk your hands up towards your hips, maybe gaze up, look up. You can fold forward if you'd like. Maybe placing your hands on weights. One of my most favorite hip and glute stretches, if you come to any of my yoga classes, is just rocking the hips side to side. You don't have to make contact with the floor. Just a gentle side to side stretch. Holding it here in half pigeon. That right knee can be bent at 90, drawing your right foot up towards your left wrist, or it can be closer in towards your hips, just as I have my heel. Gently come back to the center. Walk your hands in towards the center line of your body. To release your quad, draw your left heel in towards your left glute. Reach your right hand back. You can either grab your left foot with your right hand or just reach back, squeeze your left glute to release your quad. Extend your left leg. Release your right hand down. Draw your right knee back, coming back to a tabletop. Extend your left leg out long. Point and flex the left foot. We'll quickly repeat that on the left side. On the next one, hold your left toes pointed. Draw your left knee in towards your left wrist. So again, that left foot can be up towards your right wrist or closer towards your hips like I have it. You can draw your right foot back, tucking your toes. You're welcome to walk your hands in towards the center line of your body, on the floor, on your hips, on your legs, gaze up, look up, or you can also fold forward. Continuing here with your breath. Maybe rolling side to side if that feels comfortable for you on this side. Taking note what feels different in these stretches from one side to the next. Coming back to center, walking your hands in towards your hips. If you'd like an additional quad stretch, draw your right heel in towards your glute. You can reach your left hand back towards your left foot. If you'd like that quad stretch, squeeze your right glute to release your quad. Release your bind or your reach. Release your left hand down. Draw your right knee to meet the left. Tuck your toes. Roll up slowly. Shoulders up and back. Nice big inhale. One more. Fantastic work today. Thank you so very much for joining.